Next, I'd like to introduce Lisa Frank. Lisa is the Executive Director of the Washington Legislative Office of Environment America. Lisa, take it away.
Thank you so much. That was great, Zach. And I feel so vindicated. I grew up in a house where we kept the thermostat at 66. We turned it off at night. We turned it off every time we left. The temperature would drop down into the 50s. We'd freeze. We'd jack the heat back up. So glad to know that you can actually just keep it a nice, stable, comfortable temperature. Thank you. So many of the great projects that Zach walked us through are things that you can do yourself, right? They're not too expensive. They're relatively easy to do, but there are some bigger projects that can also help you save energy, or even bigger projects like replacing appliances that take more planning and resources. So Environment America and our allies at US PIRG and many other organizations worked this Congress to pass 2 laws that can help make it easier for you to weatherize and make those bigger changes in your home or the space that you're living in. So the bipartisan infrastructure law is, I think, most known for investments in infrastructure, of course, roads, bridges, electric vehicle charging infrastructure, replacing pipes and getting the lead out. But that law also actually made major investments in energy efficiency programs like the Weatherization Assistance Program. And this summer, Congress enacted a historic package of clean energy tax incentives in the Inflation Reduction Act. So we advocated for that law in order to reduce global warming pollution and make it much cheaper and easier for people to save energy, go solar, and switch to clean and efficient electric appliances and weatherize their homes. So I want to turn it over to Shanika Whitehurst. Thank you so much for joining us today. She's the Associate Director for Product Sustainability at Consumer Reports, and she'll describe some of the energy efficiency and weatherization programs in these laws. Thank you.
Hi, thank you everyone for having me. I'd like to go through a little bit of, this big act that I know everyone has heard a lot about now. So one of the big dates that we know that we're looking forward to is January 2023, when a lot of these incentives and rebates that you'll hear us talk about in regards to weatherization really go into effect. Okay, so some of what can be great for us when we get into the wintertime session is looking at, as Zach pointed out, our heating systems, right? And what the IRA allows you to do is actually provide funding, and in some cases, depending on what your income level is, upfront costs to update your heat pump. If you're interested in getting a heat pump and you don't have, let's say, central air or central system, it allows for that. It allows for you to update your electrical panel. There are some, households out here where the electrical panel that they currently have can't support a new heat pump, let alone a new stove, which is some of the other pluses that come out of the incentive package with the IRA. So definitely the heat pumps are something to look forward to when we talk about weatherization of the household. Now, a lot of the way that the IRA, of course, is going to work is going to be highly dependent upon your household income, and that's going to be the median household income of your state, right? As to what you can qualify for, if you can qualify for the upfront discount costs, if you can qualify for particular incentives, and then how much you could actually get in rebates and such. So that is going to be a dictator for a lot of things. So just for instance, in the IRA, there are mentions or means that are made by the IRS actually that extends out property credits. So credit that was formerly known as the non-business energy property credit, now known as the energy efficient home improvement credit. Now that credit's been expanded to expire in 2034. Originally it was supposed to expire next year. What that does is, with the original way the credit was given, was that there was a $500 maximum given for the lifetime of your house. Now that's been the total limit has been raised to $1,200. And also this is now a $1,200 max that can happen on an annual basis as opposed to over the lifetime. So that's really funds that can help you as a homeowner start to try to plan out what type of energy efficient activities or improvements that you may want to make around your household, right? They also provide funds for doors, exterior doors, some funds for exterior windows. As you heard Zach point out, when we look at where drafts come from in the house, you know, we're really looking at those windows, some of the older windows, in fact, some of the older doors. So things that we don't normally think about can actually improve our ability to heat our houses and keep them heated. Also, when you heard me originally talk about heat pumps, right? So with heat pumps, there is actually around $2,000 that is there to be given as a credit from the IRS as well in the purchase of heat pumps or heat pump water heaters. Now, from an other improvement standpoints, you heard Zach refer to the ductless systems. The ductless systems are a good in-between. Why? They can heat I want to say a more defined space, right? Would you use a ductless system to heat your entire household? Maybe not. But what you could do is if there is a certain place or section of your house you spend most of your time, and let's say your heating system now can't really get there, or you don't have that type of system, what that ductless heater will allow for is just for you to be able to heat that space and maybe a little bit more space as opposed to trying to pump through and heat the whole household. So that's definitely a plus right there. I just want to point out other credits that are available to everyone is through the residential clean energy credit. And what that is another credit that is available through the IRS as well. And what that does is it tiers down as the years go past in the IRA. So for instance, if you have different installations that are ongoing that qualify for the clean energy credit, what that says is you'll get 30% of those costs back to you. So these two programs that I just spoke about, the things they have in common, right? It would require some planning, right? We're already upon the weatherization season, but if you already know, you know, it's really time for a new heater. This might be your time to start planning that out, costing out what the heat pump, how much the heat pumps cost, and actually using some estimators that are out there for you to kind of help you determine what the cost of those things could possibly be. All right. Of course, I'm from Consumer Reports. Our website, where we provided ratings for different products, can also help point you in certain directions as well. Okay. And one of the biggest things that we point people to is referred to as the database of state incentives and renewables and efficiency. So what that does is it gives you a map of the US. You can select your state. Once all this money from the IRA is brought down, is going to be given to the Department of Energy, which will then distribute it to the states, right? And it's up to the states to, within a certain framework, distribute those funds out to you all, right? And make them available. So what that database that I just gave, what that allows you to do is kind of look and see what programs do your states already have, right? What is available to you. For instance, I live in the state of Maryland. Maryland, through one of the energy providers, gives an energy audit, right? And this energy audit, the first level of it is free. They send someone to your house, they look at drafts, they take down different information. The second tier energy audit costs around $150. Well, now under this construct, the energy audit would be free for you, so that you can really get an idea as to what is going to be necessary to, one, heat your house, and two, keep it heated. So I can stop now and take any questions if people have them.
Amazing. Thanks, Shanika.